get out there and go. I mean, they're fantastic to drive around here. They're so fast, they're so controllable. Basically, they're so reliable, and yeah, they're going to go out with a bang this year.
Brock's big at Le Mans, and on home ground he's seen a number.
And the man they call Mr. Perfect, 7 times great race victor Peter Brock in the dealer team Commodore. The pressure, we'll soon find out. 0-5, 7 times Bathurst winner Peter Brock comes along to take the green flag. The time he has to beat, of course, 2:13.85, the time set by George Fury in the Nissan Turbo.
And really working at it around Hill Corner.
2:14.31 his time in qualifying yesterday. He is really on the gas.
This is where Brock excels, up and over the top of the mountain. Look at him working at the wheel.
How often do you see that in from Peter Brock? The pressure is on, and he's answering it. Crowd warming to it. It's the only warm thing at Mount Panorama today. Beautiful lines.
1 minute 15.5 at the top of the mountain. Not bad, but will it be good enough?
Coming down beneath the bridge. Peter Perfect. Will it be Peter Pole Perfect? Here he comes. Clips the inside. And across to take the checkered flag. 2:14.03, the time for Peter Brock, but it's not good enough because George Fury has won pole position for the James Hardy 1000.
That's not a bad time, actually. I'm rather happy with that because I think in these weather conditions, a turbo is very hard to beat in qualifying because they can turn up the boost so much. Cold weather like this would suit them. It's certainly not helping us, but I'm quite happy with the timing.
Morris invented that, as a matter of fact, because his kids used to watch the wacky races, you see, and I used to laugh about Bob and his kids watching the wacky races having this Peter Perfect bloke. But now my kids watch the wacky races, you see, they see Peter Perfect on there, and I mean, it's just a joke, yeah.
What do you think of your two arch rivals and their personalities, namely Dick Johnson and Alan Moffat?
Yeah, well, they're totally different people, and I think it shows that in motor racing you really can't typecast racing drivers. You can't sit down and say, like, the devil may care, crazy, playboy type people. They're not necessarily. Sure, there's people involved in motor racing who are flamboyant and outrageous in various aspects of their behaviour, but you look at Moffat, very much an introvert, very private sort of person, and then you see Dick Johnson, who is, you know, he's just the average Jocko bloke. Couple of cans of 4X and Dick's mate.
Well-established tradition now in Bathurst Week. Last year's winners assemble for the unveiling of the plaque to celebrate their victory. Brock, Harvey and Perkins are greeted by the Mayor, Alderman Bruce Bolam.
I'd now like to call upon the winners of last year's 1983 James Hardy, Peter, John and Larry, to go over and officially unveil the plaque.
Of course, Brock and Perkins' names were already there, and with last year's result, John Harvey joins them in a unique trifecta brought about by the fact that Brock's 05 Commodore was an early casualty in the 83 race, and he and Perkins then joined Harvey in driving the second team entry to victory and a place on Bathurst's winners' walk.
Brother Lewis has been filming the two Commodores through key sections of the track. Brocky, chasing his 8th victory, sees the video as a big help.
I saw a bit there of Gricey going through a corner, and his is having a fairly big wobble, actually, and yet I would have thought his car looked very, very nice from what I saw on it, but there it was on TV, having a bit of a wobble through a corner, so maybe his car's sort of much like mine, it still needs fine-tuning.
Well, of course, yesterday, George Fury...
Today, it would give him a 50% win record in the great race.
Getting a few words from Larry Perkins.
Larry Perkins is not only co-driver for Peter Brock, but of course he is the team mechanic, the man that builds the cars, the man that nurses the cars along, and he's got a huge burden and he carries it well.
In the 42 car, just to reverse back a little.
He's moved one grid position back,
yes,
and Masterton has moved over and is starting in the centre of the track to avoid the wet patch.
Well, they're going to...
Slipstreaming him obviously before. Has he got enough to go past under brakes? No, he's got to back off. They negotiate Murray's corner.
This is a real contest, isn't it? Great stuff.
Rice still sitting here on the tail, but he'll have a crack at Harvey on the run-up. Fury has brilliant him.
Harvey's off.
Harvey has gone off on the right-hander, bounced off the wall. Fury arrived, excuse me, boys, and he went through the pair of them.
Well, I don't know whether they can...
Then fifth to John Harvey in car number 25. Greg Hansford is 6th. Then, of course, the Warren Cullen car coming up one spot, followed by the BMW of Jim Richards. Then back behind them, the Peter Jansen, Gary Rogers entry. And rounding off the top 10 at the moment is, of course, look at a perfect pit stop. Just watch this. Perkins says, righto, boy, step on out. He's ready to go. Peter will help him with the shoulder straps. We have the timer going on the pit stop. This is a well-drilled crew.
Keeping an eye out for Grice as well.
We have Colin Young in the pits who will call the action for us.
Larry Perkins in the car, 4 new tyres on, the second churn of fuel just going on. Jack's down, and Larry Perkins ready to take a little bit of a problem on the left-hand front tyres, but Larry Perkins slides out of the pit area. 2 churns of fuel in and 4 new tyres for the 05 Commodore. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Colin. Well called.
A time of 31 seconds in there to get all that done. That's remarkable work by the Holden dealer team pit crew, but as Colin mentioned, a bit of a hold-up on the left-hand side front, so they probably won't be completely happy.
And we'll start the stopwatch now. Not a great deal of dialogue between the drivers. Let's go down to Pat Welsh.
Peter Brock obviously a little bit tense about this stop. He moved to Stewart's just a little earlier in the piece to move some gear from the Toshiba camp just in front of the dealer team camp so he could have a clear run for the 05 Commodore to come in and have this vital pit stop. As you said, Michael, not a lot of dialogue between the drivers, and it has been lightning fast, this stop. Brock now ready to go. No, there's still problems with the left-hand front wheel. Now Brock's away in super quick time.
Getting a big cheer from the crowd there too as Brock heads out over the ripple strips, looking for Dick Johnson's Falcon to come into view. But I think Brock has been able to, through doing a very, very...
With 59 laps remaining in the great race of 84. Now, I wonder whether or not he might give Larry Perkins another stint in the car. Yes, he will.
Let's go down for our pitman, Pat Welsh.
That's right, Mike. Larry Perkins' turn to have a shot. I think he'll be in for about 25 laps if their plans go according to what I was told just a few minutes ago. Peter Brock will have a break, but as you said just a short time ago, they haven't. They've got a 2-lap break on the field now, so they can virtually relax, I suppose, although Peter Brock won't agree with that. We'll try and get a word with him. As again, the Holden dealer team pull off a lightning fast pit stop. They've been doing this all day. You can see just how professional they are.
Thanks, Pat. And professional's the right word. Out goes Larry Perkins, and back to Pat with Peter Brock.
Peter, you're probably aware now that both Fury and Johnson are out. You've got a 2-lap break on the field.
I didn't know what gap I was just about to walk and find out, but I saw Dick's car parked in the cutting, you know, very sad, really, because he's put up a tremendous fight today.
I don't suppose you'll relax at all, though, with that good buffer?
No, not at all. No, now we've got to just drive accurately and smoothly, and, you know, I've had buffers here before and had things go wrong and nursed it to the finish and it said nothing, you know.
The plan is for you to join the car again in about 25 laps' time, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, now we've got a buffer. We let Larry have a bit of a drive, and we're quite, you know, able to change our tactics a little now back to playing a bit of percentage. We haven't been playing a percentage gun really until now. We've been going for it.
Absolutely no problems at all out there?
No, she's going like a rocket.
Okay, Peter, thanks a lot.
Big movers. Parsons makes a quick pit stop. And Harvey quick to take over. Battling their way up into third on the grid behind Peter Brock and Warren Cullen. The car, though, failed to start initially. Now that Peter Brock is going to do the last stint. Out of Cole Young.
Thanks, Mike Raymond. Yes, Peter Brock's getting in. Larry Perkins out of the car for this final pit stop. 4 new tyres going on the 05 Commodore and 2 churns of fuel ready to go. But very quick pit work here once again from the Peter Brock team. It's become a very big thing of their race today with Larry Perkins strapping him in. The door is shut. Peter Brock's just shutting the door. He's just waiting for the pit signal for Peter Brock to drive out of the car. But another very slick pit stop from race leader Peter Brock. For more information on the race, it's back to Gary.
Good. Working their way up in the pack. An agitated John Harvey trying to... And for precision pit work, watch this. Larry Perkins in, Peter Brock out. And they still lead the great race for 1984.
Dealer team. With me is John Harvey, and his co-driver David Parsons is driving magnificently on Mount Panorama at the moment, John.
Yes, he's doing an excellent job. The car had an oil pressure problem when I was out there, and I eased back a little bit. I wanted to make it to that scheduled pit stop, get some oil in it, which we were able to do, and he went out 1 minute behind Alan Jones. He's now got it down to 11 seconds. So there's a possibility of a 1-2, but I don't really count anything until lap 163.
You're not thinking about it all that much. What about Peter? Has he eased off the pace a little? He's got something like 3 laps on the field now.
Well, he's got 3 laps, and there's no point in straightening the car at all at this stage, so he's eased right back and he's just cruising for a finish.
Nevertheless, that 1-2 finish would be a great way to finish Group C racing.
Well, we'd obviously like to do that, and I'd certainly like to see David overtake Alan and get to second place. It's a possibility.
He's shown great potential with the team too, hasn't he?
Certainly has. He's done a great job for us this weekend and also at Sandown, and I'm sure that David's going to be with us for some time.
The fact that the 2 cars are running so well and so high up, it says a lot, doesn't it, for the preparation of the dealer team's cars?
Well, that's true, and that's probably related directly to Larry Perkins, who's sharing the car with Peter. He's in charge of our workshop and all our mechanics, and it's his expertise that shows.
OK, John, best of luck with it.
Peter Brock in 05 comes across the line to win the 1984 James Hardy 1000. Second place will go to his dealer teammate David Parsons in the number 25 car. And in third place, provisionally, will be Alan Moffat and Greg Hansford in the blue and white RX-7. Well done, Peter Brock. 8 in a row. And he's orchestrating where Parsons should. Commodore fans who came here to watch a 1-2, and they've seen it today. Provisionally third, as I said, will be Alan Moffat and Greg Hansford in the RX-7. Fourth place to Alan Jones in car number 8 with Warren Cullen. Then number 28, Barry Lawrence and Alan Brown. Behind them, car number 10, which of course was the rusty French car, the Commodore V8. And behind them, Brian Callahan and Barry Graham in car number 47. The 2 dealer team Commodores return with all around it, just down near the James Hardy Centre. Just looking by our records of the finish to this year's great race, Brock and